The Sisterhood's shared nightmare in Dune, Prophecy Episode 4 Twiceborn reveals harrowing truths about the impending reckoning. Dune, Prophecy is a 6-part series based on the 2012 novel Sisterhood of Dune, which was written by original Dune author Frank Herbert's son, Brian, and Kevin J. Anderson. The story takes place more than 10,000 years before the rise of Paul Atreides, which is chronicled in Denis Villeneuve's Dune, 2020, and Dune, Part 2, 2024. Dune, Prophecy reveals the origins of the powerful shadow sisterhood known as the Bene Gesserit and how they manipulated the fate of humankind. Dune, Prophecy Episode 1 The Hidden Hand introduced Emily Watson's Valia Harkonnen, a fierce and calculated leader, and her biological sister, Tula Harkonnen. Dune, Prophecy Episode 2 reveals what happened to Lila and her grandmother, Reverend Mother Dorothea, after Tula and Valia Harkonnen encouraged her to prematurely endure a life-threatening ritual known as the Agony. In Dune, Prophecy Episode 3, Tula takes Lila's life into her own hands after she apparently died during the Agony ritual and tries to resurrect her through the use of forbidden technology. Episode 4 reveals that Lila was resurrected through the thinking machine, Anirul, as Tula loses her grip on her pupils. What happens during the Sisterhood's nightmare in Dune, Prophecy Episode 4? The sisters in training grab at their throats as if they are choking, like Dorothea. Young Francesca, Charithra Chandran, and young Karsha Jinjo, Yarinha, looking shocked in Dune, Prophecy Season 1 EP3 image via Max. Dune, Prophecy Episode 4 includes a chilling joint nightmare between several of the Bene Gesserit sisters in training. One of the standout pupils at the Sisterhood, Jen, wakes up to realize that all of her peers are experiencing the same disturbing nightmare, although she did not experience it. Several of the sisters appear to be grabbing at their throats as if they are choking, which is a clear reference to how Dorothea was murdered by Mother Reverend Superior Valia decades before. Valia had used the Bene Gesserit power of voice to instruct Dorothea to drive a knife into her throat, which cleared the way for Valia's rise to power. This communal nightmare comes about after Valia unsuccessfully tries to use the voice on Desmond Hart at the end of Episode 3. Valia gave Desmond the same instructions to pull out his blade and cut his own throat, but Desmond's newly gifted psychic powers from the giant sandworm Shai-Hulud allowed him to thwart Valia's voice command. It's clear by Valia's reaction that this had never happened to her before and she is up against a far greater threat than she imagined. Interestingly, Valia works to prevent the reckoning from happening but ends up being a key catalyst in bringing it to life, which comes about in the shared dream between the Sisterhood pupils. Why all the sisters have the same nightmare except Jen? Jen is the most unpredictable and independent of the acolytes. Sister Jen, Faulianne Cunningham, accuses Tula of Lila's death in Dune, Prophecy Season 1 EP3 image via Max. Jen interestingly is the only one who does not share the shared nightmare, which is why she is excluded from the spice-induced drawing exercise that Tula orchestrates later in the episode. Throughout Dune, Prophecy, Jen is the boldest and most outspoken of the sisters in training who doesn't need to use truth sense to see things for the way they really are. Jen is also inherently rebellious and works against the Sisterhood while still maintaining her place among her fellow acolytes. Because Jen is such a natural leader and free thinker, it makes sense that she is less susceptible to the shared nightmare and may not actually be fit to be a Bene Gesserit truthsayer. Jen is, in a word, unpredictable, which suggests that she is less disciplined and susceptible than her fellow acolytes. Jen is also naturally skeptical and was the only one who spoke up to Tula about how irresponsible it was of her and Valia to put Lila through the agony without proper training. It's not exactly clear why Jen didn't have nightmares like the others, although she did envision one of the other notable acolytes, Sister Emmeline, slicing her throat in a dream. Tula also envisions this in a spice-induced hallucination at the end of the episode, although she is the one holding the blade. This suggests that Jen is on to the dark truths that Tula is hiding. How the Sisterhood's nightmare connects to fear and the reckoning. They appear to be channeling the godlike spirit of Shai-Hulud. When Tula leads the acolytes through the dream once again, they become consumed by images of Arrakis and Shai-Hulud, which they feverishly sketch on paper. They also all draw what appears to be two white eyes which are later demonstrated as two blue orbs inside Shai-Hulud, which could allude to the godlike presence within the giant sandworm who is making the reckoning happen. Desmond Hart claims to have come out of Shai-Hulud when he was reborn, which hints that he is the twice-born tyrant that was prophesied in the reckoning. However, with the resurrection of Lila through the thinking machine technology in Dune, Prophecy Episode 4, there are now two characters who fall into the twice-born category.